Hello, everybody. This is Beef and the Deuce podcast. It's the Deuce losing every game this weekend. My fantasy team sucks. My
Your
Browns.
pick'em games are terrible.
My Browns suck. Let's see what else. Over the weekend. Let's see. Beef took Green Bay. I was taking Houston. Green Bay won. Suck. God. He took Seattle. I took Atlanta. Atlanta lost. Suck. I took Minnesota over Detroit. Minnesota lost. Suck.
I'm just out here crushing you.
And of course, I picked. Did we actually take a pick on Steelers Jets? They're playing now, but I don't know if I.
I want to say I went. We talked about it before, and I went Jets.
Okay, well,
I think you went Steelers.
Okay. Of course, the Jets are up 15-6. Sucks. And fortunately for this podcast, Baltimore is tomorrow night.
Yes, and we're gonna go. I'm going Tampa. I'm going home team.
You see, I kind of like that, but I'll take Baltimore just because you took Tampa.
Nice. Sucks.
Jeez. Oh, and then of course, let's see. I was taking Alabama. Suck.
Yeah, I did too. It's okay. We both suck.
I took Texas. Big suck.
Yeah, we suck. We are 0-2 there.
Man. I did pick Indiana.
Well, that was good.
Yeah.
We did okay.
Yeah, we're flying high with that one. Jeez.
Good thing you're not a gambling man. Like we said before, you would be.
Keep me away from those.
Yeah, you would be in some deep trouble.
I'd be broke.
Deep trouble.
Broke. So anyway. So what do you got here? We're going to talk about the games from this weekend, of course, and then we're going to preview OSU Nebraska.
Mm-hmm.
Here we go. Are you ready?
Let's do it. Dive into it.
Who am I taking this weekend? I'm taking Washington to upset Indiana.
God. I just don't understand.
Keep me away from the crap tables.
Now, to be fair, Indiana starting quarterback is, I believe, out.
There you go. I have a chance.
So it gets a little intriguing.
Okay.
But
that
offense looks so good. They didn't skip a beat when he went down.
So is that just? Was that an exposing of Nebraska though too?
I think so. I think Nebraska was kind of
overrated a little bit here.
Overhyped. Dylan Ravioli's just. I don't think he's. At least for that game, he didn't look like he was that dude.
Yeah, but that number 13 for Indiana, that receiver, he is legitimate. Is it 13?
God, the whole offense is legitimate.
Ooh, man.
Whole offense is legitimate.
Yeah. Give kudos to Indiana.
But I thought the whole offense looked great. Rushing attack looked great. Yeah. Defense looked good.
Yeah.
Indiana was out for some blood. They were there to prove something.
56.
And Coach Signetti is.
I like that guy. I like him. He's like, I don't care.
He and I want to say our boy Joel Klatt thinks that he should be Coach of the Year if they make the CFP, and I don't disagree.
I would, yeah.
I don't disagree.
Although he did call for Indiana to be in the top 10 this week, and I don't agree with that. And of course, it didn't happen. But they're at 13, which is nice. I just couldn't see them. They got one more game to prove, I think, before they go top 10. You know.
Yeah, and I think it would be the Washington game. I think if they beat Washington, which is because it's a nooner on the Big Ten Network, pretty decent sized game for them.
Yep.
After that, Michigan State shouldn't be much of an issue. Mm-hmm. At this rate, I think anybody can beat Michigan.
Right.
They still have a passing offense for crap.
God, they look terrible, don't they?
Oh, jeez, just bad. Illinois just controlled the whole game.
I thought whoever the new quarterback would be better than who they had, but I don't think so.
Nobody in that quarterback room can pass the ball. It's embarrassing.
How could they be that bad at quarterback?
It's embarrassing. It's truly embarrassing.
I almost feel bad for them now.
Yeah, I see the only loss for Indiana right now is to the Buckeyes. That's it.
Okay. All right.
Because anything that you pick, you have to go the opposite. So
Now, does Indiana play Penn State, though?
they do not.
Okay. All right.
Nope. Their last three, outside of, obviously, it's Washington, Michigan State, Michigan, Buckeyes, Purdue.
Yeah. Yeah. You're telling me they're going to be 11-1?
Don't put it past them. Them hook 'em Hoosiers.
Hook 'em Hoosiers. Wow.
Hook 'em Hoosiers.
And I want everybody to know, we were making a joke off the air about Indiana. You asked me something about when was the last time Indiana had I said, I remember had a championship team or whatever. And I said, I remember it as a kid that they beat Ohio State and they were a Big Ten championship. I can't remember what it was. And you made a joke like it must have been in the Vietnam era. And of course.
And it was.
1967. I thought that's great. We can't pick games, but boy, we can pick eras, can't we?
Yes, we're on it.
Yeah, where it's important, we don't.
But I mean, how can you look at that Hoosier schedule and not think they could do it?
I figured 10-2 tops, but okay. So we'll find
The
out.
Washington game's a little interesting though, but Washington hasn't really been playing all that great. Obviously, they're 4-3 right now,
and it's at Indiana.
And it is in the Hoosier land. So
Hoosier Dome. That place has never had that many people in it, I think.
Oh, it's crazy. That atmosphere was nuts.
It's crazy. Crazy.
It was so nuts.
It's never. You can always see empty seats. Always see empty seats. But nope.
Yeah, and that place was smacked.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, okay. So let's talk about Georgia, Texas.
The game of the weekend.
Wow.
Who would have thunk it?
So is just Georgia that good? Texas had a bad day.
I don't think outside of, and I know we talked about it yesterday. Outside of Georgia's rushing attack, and then Texas's little, I guess a part of that second half that they actually played somewhat decent. Quinn had a couple of touchdown passes towards the end to kind of make it close.
Yeah.
I mean, the first half for both teams, that was ugly.
Yeah.
Carson Beck's turned the ball over. I think he had three interceptions on the day.
Yeah. I know yours had at least two, right?
Yeah, yours had at least one pick, maybe a fumble.
Oh, okay.
I'd have to look back at the box score again.
It was ugly.
But oh god, everything was just gross. But again, it's a top 5 matchup.
Yeah.
I don't expect fireworks, but I mean, I expect some sort of decent quarterback play early, and there wasn't anything.
Mm-hmm.
And then Georgia got hot in, was it like second quarter, and then the rushing attack started to pick up. ETN started to put up some points, had three touchdowns on the day, and that was basically it. Georgia's defense played probably the best they have all season, and shut down the powerhouse that was Texas. In Texas, which is obviously not the easiest place to play.
Yeah.
And now we're looking at a new AP top 10.
Are you thinking that's legit at number 2 for them then, for Georgia? Oregon 1? Georgia
2? I looked at it before, and I was pushing for them to go 3 and keep the undefeateds above them, and do Oregon, Penn State, Georgia, then the Buckeyes. Let's keep the Buckeyes at 4. But then again, you just knocked off the number 1 ranked team at their place.
Yep.
And the 15-point win didn't even do it justice. They could have won by 20 plus.
Yeah.
So that was an ass whooping on primetime television. So it kind of makes you wonder, like, was it, like you said, was it Georgia's day, or did Texas just not show up?
Some strange calls too.
I'm starting to think maybe Georgia is for real, and that Bama game was kind of a fluke. Who knows?
Well, yeah. Speaking of Alabama, Ouch.
Yeah, I truly did not expect that. I thought Tennessee would be typical Tennessee.
Yeah.
And start off hot and then simmer down towards the end of the season.
Yeah.
They came to play.
They came to play. And so now Alabama is 15, rated 15. And so would you have, let's see, Tennessee is now 7. Moved up 4 spots. You think that's legit for Tennessee, up at 7th in the nation?
Yeah, I mean, you beat a top 10 team.
Yeah.
I thought they looked better than any of the games that I've kind of peeked in on throughout the season.
Mm-hmm.
And you would think with a game of that magnitude, maybe they shy away from it a little bit, and they didn't. I thought overall they played a great game.
Yeah.
Defense played well, forced Jalen Milroe just to look uncomfortable, which hasn't really been done outside of even with the Vanderbilt game, he was still putting up an insane amount of stats.
Yeah.
Still, being the dual threat quarterback that he is, putting up some points on the ground and through the air. Tennessee put him on a kind of in a chokehold.
Yeah.
And just kind of had him somewhat frantic, I guess would be a good word for it. Mm-hmm. And Tennessee just played their game and pulled out the dub.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, what game impressed you more? Was it the Indiana butt kicking to Nebraska, or would it be Tennessee over Alabama?
I would say more so Indiana because of the sizable win that they had.
It was just total dominance, just complete dominance.
They destroyed them.
Yeah.
Just absolutely dismantled Nebraska, a one-loss Nebraska team.
Right.
Now, obviously a top 10, top 11 matchup looks better, but like we were talking about, Indiana hasn't had a good football team since ever. It's been a very long time.
Very long time.
And Coach Cignetti has something brewing. I don't know what it is, what Kool-Aid they're sipping on.
Yeah, give me some of that.
But yeah, it's whatever is happening in there, it's working, and it's working very well.
Yeah.
And a lot of people picked Tennessee to beat Bama, which obviously we were not one of those people.
No, we were not.
But if it was in Tuscaloosa, maybe the rules are flipped a little bit. But that home field advantage helps. It is not easy to play.
Yeah.
In Tennessee for prime time. Yeah. And I mean, at the end of the day, Tennessee was just a better team.
Yeah.
And Bama's in kind of a world of hurt. A 2-loss Bama team is
unheard of.
Possibly on the outside looking in to get into that CFP.
Yeah. Yeah. And Clemson's just slowly creeping up here. They're now at 9.
I love it. Yeah. I love it.
Miami.
I love the chaos.
It is.
Especially after the first game of the season where everyone's just doubting them. They just kind of flipped a switch.
Yeah.
And Dabo's right there. That whole Clemson swag is possibly back. Who knows?
Yeah. Yeah. Talk to me about Brigham Young here. He's at 12.
Just slinging it. That offense is just slinging. I love it. I mean, some of the games that I've been able to catch because they obviously play the West Coast time, and it's a little past my bedtime.
Right.
But they had a close game with Oklahoma State. Very, very, very close. To the point where they should have lost. Yeah. And they pull out a last-second touchdown, or I guess 10 seconds left. Pull out a clutch score, and the rest is history.
Yep.
But, I mean, their offense is just humming all season.
Yeah.
Outside of one game, they've put up 30-plus points.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's nuts. That's truly crazy.
There's just a lot when you look at it. Yeah, go ahead.
They could possibly go undefeated.
Okay.
Like, you look at their schedule: Central Florida at Utah, which Utah is a dumpster fire. Kansas at home, away at Arizona State, which could be tricky, and then a home game with Houston. You could be looking at an undefeated BYU team that
wins the Big 12.
Could win the Big 12 and get into the CFP.
That is just craziness. That's craziness. Then who's they going to? All right, okay. Let's assume they're undefeated and they're obviously in the Big 12 championship. Who are they playing?
Probably Iowa State.
Okay.
I would say Iowa State. But Iowa State damn near lost to Central Florida over the weekend.
Yeah, but they didn't.
But they didn't. They squeaked out a nice little dub.
Yeah, they're number 10.
And, yeah, I mean, dual threat quarterback, which is always helpful. But the Big 12 is just notorious for not having defense.
Right.
So imagine that Iowa State BYU championship game. That they might break 60 total points easily.
Yeah. So if it's Brigham Young and Iowa State right now, who are you taking?
Oh, give me the BYU.
Really?
Give it all day.
Okay. Interesting. And you just don't think K-State's going to hang in there with them?
No, because I don't see either team getting another loss. And Kansas State, Iowa State play at the end of the season. So I guess that could get really interesting to see who wins that game. Because that would probably be the championship spot. So it'd be very interesting to see that. But yeah, I mean, as of right now, it's those top two teams.
So who are you projecting in the SEC championship game then?
Oh God, that dumpster fire now. I still think it's Texas.
Okay.
And
Georgia?
But it gets a little murky now.
Okay.
Gets a little murky.
Really?
So,
are you thinking Tennessee here?
It's possible.
Okay.
It's possible.
Yeah,
and I mean, you like Bama's, which is crazy to think. Bama's basically out. A two-loss Bama is out.
Unless
so you're looking at.
Yeah.
I mean, there's your Aggies, hook 'em Aggies, undefeated in the conference.
Yeah.
LSU, undefeated in the conference.
Yeah.
They've got Georgia, Tennessee, Missouri, Texas, Vanderbilt all have one loss.
Vanderbilt. Okay.
We're talking about Vanderbilt.
I know. Oh, by the way, are we just really happy that the team up north is no longer in the top 25 and they put Vanderbilt in instead?
I love it. I should just give whoever runs the AP just a big fat kiss. I love it. I think it's great. I look at their stats,
I'm like, Vanderbilt? Okay. Well, they beat Alabama, right?
They did.
It's just so much. Okay. So you're not even going to come close to who's in the championship game at SEC time, really?
It's tough right now, like truly.
Not even one team? Not even one team?
My gut feeling is telling me Georgia, Texas. Again, somehow, some way.
It seems
but like I'm looking through Tennessee's schedule, and it's not great.
Well, who's okay, go ahead.
So they got Kentucky, Mississippi State, Tennessee's at Georgia, which I think they'll lose that game.
Yeah.
UTEP, and then your guys, Vanderbilt in Nashville.
The powerhouse of Vanderbilt.
The powerhouse that is Vanderbilt in Nashville.
Oh, man.
So it's not ideal. So, I mean, you're looking at a possible two-loss Tennessee team, more than likely.
Okay.
And then, obviously, you go to Georgia, Florida. Ole Miss has been kind of MIA the last couple of weeks. Obviously, Tennessee, UMass, Georgia Tech. So I don't see them losing another game.
Right. Well, what happens now with LSU this weekend? LSU is Texas A&M.
I look to Aggies.
Yeah.
I love me some Aggies.
Love me some Hokiam Aggies.
I
but so
truly do. I think it's crazy.
So then LSU will have 2 losses, right?
Overall, yes.
Yeah, overall. But
overall, yes.
Just 1 loss in the conference?
Yep.
And then A&M would have no losses in the conference and 1 loss overall?
Yep, and that was a somewhat close game with Notre Dame, which at the time was a top 10 team.
All right. So who makes it into the playoffs then for this SEC then? Forget about its championship game.
Gosh.
Okay, you can choose 4. Who gets in? You get 4 only.
Texas, Georgia. I'm going to say
Not
Aggies.
Really? Not Alabama? No.
And
oh my God. Tennessee.
I think Bama squeaks in.
Even with so why not Tennessee though?
I don't know about Tennessee.
They beat Alabama.
They did, but
it's tough.
For some reason, I look at the end of this schedule, and I see them losing to somebody they shouldn't, whether it's Kentucky, Mississippi State, or even Vanderbilt.
Yeah. You say they do play Georgia?
For some reason, I see one of those games not going their way.
Yeah.
Because it's typical Tennessee fashion.
Okay. They beat Alabama this year.
They did.
They did.
They did. And it was shocking, of course. But,
yeah.
I mean...
This is crazy. Know. This is craziness. How do you know?
It's tough. It's tough to figure out. But for some reason, I don't know if Tennessee's for real yet.
Okay.
Watching that game, it was just an ugly game.
Yeah.
And we talked about that. Basically, the whole game was just like, what is this? Like, this is gross. And it was back and forth. And then, Alabama had a chance to drive down the field, and Jalen Monroe threw that just gross pick in the middle of the field. Just dumb. And the rest is history. But I think Bama's still the better team.
Yeah.
But we'll see. Obviously, we will see how the season plays out because Bama still has LSU. And who knows?
They play Texas A&M?
Let's see. LSU, A&M. There's that. Let me look at Bama's schedule. Looking at Missouri, which has been meh.
Yeah, they could. If Vanderbilt can do it.
It's at LSU. Yeah, if Vanderbilt can do anything, jeez. So, yeah, you got home game Missouri, away at LSU, Mercer, at Oklahoma, which is just a dumpster fire.
Yeah.
And then, obviously, the Auburn game at the end.
Yeah, they could run the table.
I think so, too.
Except maybe for LSU. So if they lose to LSU, that's 3 losses.
It'd be crazy.
Oh, man, 3 losses. Alabama.
Yeah. When was the last time Bama had 3 losses?
It couldn't have been under the Nick Saban era. Well, maybe in his first year. I don't know. Probably Nom.
Yeah, the SEC's super tough now. And then obviously the Big Ten is, you've got 3 in the top 5.
Yeah.
Which is awesome for the Big Ten. Like we were talking about the whole merger thing.
Mm-hmm.
That's huge for the merger.
Yeah, it's great for those West Coast teams. Yeah. Yes, sir. Yeah. So do you think it's going to be Oregon and OSU in the championship game?
I hope it is. I would love another rematch. I think obviously we're hoping, but I would hope that the coaching staff learned from this game that some things need to change. Offense is still okay, but something with the defense definitely needs some tuning up.
That's the way it's been ever since Urban left, right? And the defense.
Yep. Well, it's always the defense. It's something with the secondary or
with the defense.
The lack with the pass rush or both.
Yeah. Ooh. So, it's tough. Better, right? Better.
It's better, but it's still not great.
Yeah.
If you pay this roster as much money as you've allegedly paid, you can't give up just constant deep balls or have no pass rush. And Dylan Gabriel has forever and a day to throw the ball. You just can't do that.
Yeah.
You're not going to win big games like that if you can't get to the quarterback.
Yeah. Do you think that they give Indiana gives OSU a run for their money with their passing attack? And we're not getting
Possibly.
We're not getting much of a rush.
It's possible, but I think the tune-up that we need will happen.
Okay.
I'm trying to be a believer.
Okay. Good for you.
Trying my best.
All right. Good. So you're taking Aggies over LSU. Pittsburgh, Syracuse is interesting. I have no skin in the game, obviously, but I don't know. Who do you want to win that game? Do you care?
I would like to see Syracuse make some noise.
Yeah.
It seems like Tom McCord's kind of found a fit in that program, which is
good. That's good.
Kind of surprising.
Yeah.
That I didn't expect him to just start throwing the ball and average 300-something yards a game.
Yep.
And a handful of touchdowns. But I always like the underdog, and I believe they're away for that game. So, yeah, I'd like to see Syracuse trying to make a run for the ACC.
Yeah, spread's 4.5 for Pittsburgh. That's at Pittsburgh. Or it's at Syracuse. No, I'm sorry, it's at Pittsburgh. Yeah. So
I'd like to see what they can do, and especially with the ACC being basically completely up for grabs right now.
Yeah.
Outside of Clemson.
Well, Miami?
Why not?
Miami's undefeated.
Yeah, but I don't believe in Miami. Truly. I watch Miami, and I'm not impressed. Like, just the defense is just so bad. Just so bad. But they're fortunate to have Cam Ward who can throw it on a dime.
Yeah, put up infinite points.
But that defense is just so bad. Like, Louisville just ran it just down the field like it was nothing. And if your offense isn't on point, you're losing those games, and that's hard to do every single week, is to have an offense that just works every single week. Eventually, they're going to stumble, and they've almost stumbled 3 weeks in a row, and have barely gotten through these games.
Okay.
So eventually, I would assume they will stumble somewhere. But again, I'm here for the chaos. I'm here for some fun.
Yes, yeah. Speaking of that, we got the Steelers and the Jets here. Wilson's playing quarterback. He's looking pretty good. What's your take on that? With having Fields on the bench?
I find it strange that your now previous starting quarterback in Justin Fields goes 4-2, plays well. Nothing crazy, but plays well. And then just gets benched.
I told you that happened with Big Ben, and it's the coach, Tomlin, right?
So I don't know if it's something to do with, like, Tomlin goes into the locker room and just asks the captains, hey, who do you think needs to be the guy?
I don't think he did that. I think Tomlin.
Is this true?
I think Tomlin's a coach.
Or do you think he just straight up did it?
Yeah, I think he did it. Yeah. And I think in one way he's got to find out, right? He's got to find out something, right?
Yeah, but I would assume younger talent. You want to see what you have with the younger talent, because eventually, that could be your guy.
Could be
for a long period of time.
But Tomlin, when Wilson has his abilities, he throws a ball that Justin Wilson that Fields just doesn't have, or I've never seen it. He's got those
he's had a couple of pretty nice, what they call moon balls.
Yeah.
To George Pickens, which has been something I haven't really seen. I'm curious to see if the Wilson move does do anything.
Yep. Yep. I mean, so far they're still losing, so.
Yeah, they're only down 2.
Yeah.
Just a little bit over the third quarter now.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I mean, it's just very interesting to me. And I think a lot of people are in that same boat, that it wasn't like Justin played poorly and lost the job. He just straight up got it taken away from him.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll see if it's a gamble. We'll see if the gamble pays off for Tomlin. But, as of right now, it's not bad. It's truly not bad. Like, the stats are kind of ugly, but
see,
I don't think I've watched a Pittsburgh game that's been not ugly.
If you're watching the game, he just threw a nice little floater for Pickens, and he got it.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
I just don't see Fields really making that touch. Do you?
Not consistently. I think he's got it. He's done it a couple times this season, but I don't think it's as consistent as Wilson.
Yeah. Wilson's just got that arch, that floater drop-in pass that's just
get that little moon
sweet.
Ball.
Yeah. But it's great for the receivers, right? They can just wait for the ball to come down.
Mm-hmm. Yep. They see everything and they know it's going to be on a rope.
Yep. Yep. So I don't know.
Yeah, it's very interesting. Very, very interesting.
I want Fields to be the quarterback. I do, but he's doing all right.
Hey, at the end of the day, Pittsburgh is first in the North. And speaking of the North,
okay,
let's talk about it.
Go for it. Let me have it.
So, as we know, Mr. Deshaun Watson, pretty convincingly, is done for the season.
At least the season, yeah.
Yep, torn Achilles. Thing is gonzo.
He's done.
What is your view on the Cleveland faithful cheering after the injury?
I did not like it at all. Thought it was really bad.
That's a terrible look. I don't care how much you hate this man.
Yeah, that's bad.
You can hate him as a human. That's fine. Yeah. But
that's just sad.
That was very interesting.
Yeah.
Very, very interesting. I get it's frustrating, especially as a fan base that needs something positive. But it definitely rubbed me the wrong way as much as I don't like Deshaun.
Yeah. The thing is, on that drive, he was doing well.
Yeah.
Throwing some good balls.
He had one little slip up and pop. There goes the Achilles.
Yeah. Yeah. Nothing you can do about that when it happens.
Yeah, that was brutal.
But yeah, I thought that was bad for him. But
and then,
Browns can do that. They're known for some things like that.
Yeah, I was gonna say I wasn't terribly surprised.
No, not at all. No, I thought there'd be more, actually.
Throwing some bottles and some.
Name the bottle game and. Oof. The bottle game was before your time, but.
Yeah. So what do you think this team does now? Are they going to turn to?
Oh, get rid of everybody.
To Jameis?
Well, I don't know why number 2 was what's his name? The guy they brought in who was third string. Now they made him second string for the game.
For Winston, yeah.
Was Winston just hurt?
So initially the talks were DTR was number 2. He was just told by Stefanski he's number 2.
Yeah.
Be ready to go in.
But why? Because he was always 3, right, for the entire season?
Allegedly, yes. Allegedly.
Or I guess it doesn't really matter, but yeah.
Yeah.
I wonder.
He didn't look terrible.
I wonder if
pressure-wise he looked fine.
I wonder if he was thinking of pulling Deshaun anyway.
It sounded like he was on a very short leash.
Very short leash, yeah. If he tells another quarterback, the number 3 quarterback, get ready, there's a real good chance that you'll be in that game.
Yep.
And so, unfortunately, it had to happen that way.
Yep.
But even looking at Deshaun just wasn't getting any help, but he was just sluggish in the pocket. I thought when he scrambled, he was like at 3/4 speed. He just didn't have the energy or something. Did you pick up on that? Or just sort of?
It's almost kind of like he knows the offensive line is gonna let up quickly.
Yeah.
So he's not confident in any ability to do anything quarterback related.
Yeah.
He's almost basically bracing himself for
he just looked tired.
Full speed ahead.
Yeah, he looked tired to me. Just like even when he tried to scramble, it wasn't like, dude, you can run faster than that. But maybe he's just tired of scrambling for his life all the time.
Yeah. I don't blame him.
Yeah.
I don't see a quarterback in that system currently with that offensive line.
No.
That can do anything.
No, it's not going to be. I think DTR can do a good job, but there's as we've talked, there's other fundamental problems, and it's the offensive line. So.
Oh, it's atrocious.
It's good to see Chubb.
Do you think the?
Go ahead.
I was gonna say, do you think the Chubb return will help?
I think it did help. In spite of the lack of offensive line play, he got some yardage and he scored an offensive touchdown. I think that when finally Chubb got in on that goal line play when they were, I just felt, oh come on refs, just give him a touchdown.
He deserves it.
Just give him a touchdown. Come on, though. Just 3 times trying to get into this end zone, and you. Some of these referee calls this weekend, even in the college and the pros, are like, I don't agree with that.
There was a handful of just some very like, wait, what?
So you're telling me
overturned penalties and like all this other like.
So have you ever seen in that Georgia game when they said it was pass interference, right? And then there was a delay and everybody threw the bottles and whatever. So where the refs get together, they didn't apparently go to the replay, and they decided to reverse their own call. In other words, the call had been made, play was dead, pass interference, and we're changing our mind. Have you ever seen that?
I was very confused. I didn't think that they could do that.
I didn't think they could overturn, or they would overturn their own call. It's like a baseball umpire. No, you're out, you're out. I don't care what you say. But I mean, they didn't start another play, so there had not been another play started. So it was still in their. I just had never seen it, and I was confused by it.
Unless somebody from New York, LA, wherever they do, or no, I think it's in Charlotte where they do the instant replay, like little booth area.
Yeah, SEC has.
I think it's Charlotte.
Yeah.
But I wonder if somebody just immediately went like, no, that's wrong.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, it was close. I mean, there was contact, right? There was plenty of contact, so you could make a call. But I think you have to decide what you're going to call and what you're not going to call. I think somebody got on the horn and said, we don't like this.
You guys are wrong. Change this now.
Yeah.
Oh, got it, boss.
Yeah. But
it's very, it caught me off guard, too. I had to just kind of sit and think for a little bit, like, is this a thing, or?
Well, I couldn't figure out what they were talking about. Like, the play's dead. It's, oh, that's right. It was an interception. But yeah, that's right. It was an interception. Oof. Yeah.
Yeah, that was. There was a lot of calls that dictated a lot of different things, or that could have dictated something else.
Yeah.
That I was. This game's too big for this stuff to be going on. You'd almost rather just sit with what you've already made, decision-wise, and just run with it.
Yep.
But it was getting a little spicy. Definitely a little spicy.
And then that harkens back to Smith in the Ohio State game. I don't think that was pass interference.
Oh, no. God, no.
But they called it.
That was terrible.
They called it.
It's just terrible.
Yeah.
That call still pisses me off.
Well, yeah. Which is why I think my call for a unified referee system national is needed. Needed.
Yeah. For something like that, it's.
Yeah. And with the playoffs the way it is.
It's just too much.
Yeah, it's like you can't have different referee styles. Can't. So anyway, anything else in the pros? Obviously, you won every game we talked about last week, so good for you.
It's
Pittsburgh's in the lead, 16-15.
Yeah, they just kicked the field goal. Now we got 16-15. Jets have the ball.
Yeah. Go Steelers.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, there were some good games. There were some.
Yeah, close.
But
That Green Bay game really pissed me
the Green
off.
Bay game was down to the wire, and C.J. Stroud had the worst game of his career.
Yeah. Tell me about it.
The Minnesota-Detroit game, obviously, we talked about earlier. That was
good game.
Very, very back and forth. Sam Darnold is looking more and more legit.
Oh, thank you.
Each week.
You just hate that, don't you?
I do, but it's he is starting to become one of those system-based quarterbacks that if he's in the right system, and he has a coach that knows what the hell he's doing.
You see that?
That was brutal.
Oh my God! It's going to score a touchdown. Oh, I'm sorry, guys. We're watching the Pittsburgh game, and Rodgers just threw an interception. They almost got a TD on that one.
Gosh.
Go Steelers, baby.
Go AFC North, right?
I might get a game in this one.
That's so funny.
God, that was.
But I mean, just some of these games are just very, very surprising to me.
And that Seahawks over Atlanta. Jeez.
I did. Yep.
That's ridiculous.
Gosh.
Anyway, what else?
Yeah, we will see. We'll see this Baltimore-Tampa Bay game, though. That's probably the game of the week that I've been looking forward to the most, is just to see what Big Bay can do.
Yeah. Anything else we're looking forward to on the Big Ten horizon this week? Except for
well, obviously the Buckeye game's huge. Big game noon.
Yeah.
See how we bounce back from a heartbreaking loss.
Mm-hmm.
But and then obviously with Nebraska, how do they respond by?
Yeah.
Obviously shortly after being absolutely destroyed by.
Yeah.
Indiana.
Yeah.
So how does that look for them?
Yeah, it's going to be on the road here in Buckeye Land. So.
But outside of that,
we got Washington upsetting Indiana.
Yeah, it's not happening. It's just not. It's just no.
Okay.
But then you've got the Oregon-Illinois matchup.
Yeah.
Number one, Oregon. Let's see if Illinois has
anything for them. Yeah.
Anything.
Because they're going to Oregon. It's going to be at Oregon.
Yes, they're going to Eugene as 22-point underdogs.
Really, 22? My gosh.
Yes, that is a massive number.
Yeah, especially for a team that's 5-1 now.
Yeah. So I mean, outside of those couple, not really too much Big Ten wise.
Yeah.
But definitely, two teams coming off some pretty tough losses. So I'd be very, very curious.
Oh, what about your Niners here? You gonna make an excuse about injuries again?
Well, now they are hurt. They are hurt.
Okay.
So Brandon Ayuk just tore his ACL. It sounds like so. Their star receiver is out for the season.
Ouch. Well, they are hurt. Yeah.
Yeah, and then it sounds like CMC is coming back in November, so we'll see if that does anything. But yeah, the Niners are just like legitimately ouchie.
Yeah.
So I don't know what's gonna happen.
So who's in the lead then? Seattle? Who's in the lead out there?
It'd be Seattle. Seattle, because I'm a lot better at picking these divisions and wins.
Yes, you are.
But I believe it's Seattle. San Fran, I still think is 2. Because I think the Cardinals and LA have 2 wins.
Wow. Okay. So it's not exactly.
So they have a chance.
They have a chance. Do you think they can make the playoffs? The Niners. It's gonna be rough. What's the AFC North?
Tough.
The AFC North like they're playing?
Yeah, it's gonna be tough.
NFC North. NFC North.
Well, yeah, because you got three 5-win teams in the North.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't see the South really putting too much of a fight. Atlanta's so hot and cold. They're either really, really good or they struggle. So I don't know. don't know how I feel about them currently.
Mm-hmm.
Philly could be still somewhat interesting. I don't know how bad Jaden Daniels' rib injury is for the Commanders, but then at 5-2,
yeah.
I mean, hell, the Bears are 4-2.
I know. And so is it just going to be the Eagles alone in the NFC East, and that's it?
It could be Commanders, Eagles. The North could very well have 3 get in.
Yeah. That's yeah.
I feel like the South is Tampa Bay's to win or lose.
Yeah.
And as of right now, the West is Seattle.
Dumpster fire.
I don't know about San Fran. Don't know at all. But now the injuries are just added on top of one another, so it's going to be tough.
Yeah, we got 4 losses in the first half of the season. That's just hard.
Yeah, it's not ideal, especially when you were just in the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
It's not ideal, not at all.
So what is going on with your Cowboys? Anything that's worth talking about?
Oh, God. Well, Dak got engaged, so that's real cool.
We're all happy for that, I'm sure.
Yeah, so happy. But we need to get that running attack figured out. We have no rushing attack.
Yeah.
If that gets figured out, we might have a chance to do something. But we don't have it yet, and we haven't seen it yet.
And there's doesn't seem to be anybody.
Rico has had like 2 good games on the season.
Yeah.
But the running game needs established, and our schedule is not very favorable.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we might actually have a chance to beat the Niners this week. Who knows?
Yeah.
Who knows?
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I mean, it's Niners, Falcons, Eagles, Texans, Commanders.
Yeah.
But those are our next 5 games.
Yeah. Oops.
I don't know what they're gonna do with no rushing attack. We can't be one-dimensional. We're gonna lose. We're gonna lose each of those games if we're one-dimensional.
Man, you kind of are one-dimensional.
And Dak can't do it by himself, especially when our defense is banged up and we don't have a rushing attack.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Well, I'm sure Jerry's got it figured out.
Yeah, that's my boy.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. I truly don't know.
So anything else going on before we get out of here?
You're just making me wonder why I'm a Dallas fan. So this is your fault.
Well, you
I'm
brought
sitting
up
here and just utter disappointment.
You brought up the Browns, so.
Yeah, But no, yeah, we got another good football weekend ahead of us, and we'll see who wins this Pittsburgh Jets game.
Yeah.
See who wins this pick.
Yeah. All right. Well, we'll talk about it later. Bye.